Obi, you guys, nail biter going into the fourth quarter, and that group, it just seemed like the energy took over there. What did you guys feel out there and see as a group?
I just feel like we did a really good job offensive rebounding. Felt like our rebounding today was big for us to get the W. So we was just out there having fun, playing with a lot of energy.
Yeah, Obi, specifically for you on the offensive rebounding, I think you had 4 of them, and you had that big, very long, technically a putback that took about 15 seconds. You dribbled all around the court.
Oh, yeah, facts.
What was working so well for you on the offensive boards and working for you in your decision-making process after?
I just felt like I was a lot more physical today on the glass, so basically knew what I had to do coming into the game to get the win. So,
Obi, they came out and took the lead in the third quarter. What'd you see in what they did to start the third, and what'd you guys do to regain the game?
Felt like they came out with a lot of energy. We didn't really have the energy we needed to keep the lead that we had, but I felt like later in that quarter we found our we found basically what we had to do to get the lead back and keep that lead. So.
All right, thanks, Obi. Coach, they came out in the third quarter, regained the lead. What did you see in their adjustments, and what did you guys do to regain it to close out the game?
Yeah, just the energy to start, so, our defense wasn't very good, and we were playing, slowly, but I think when you're not getting stops, that tends to lead to that. So we know there's going to be shifts in games, and we got to make sure that we can get through that. So we responded, we got hit hard, and picked ourselves up and came back.
Tom, I know you tell RJ all the time, go all the way to the rim. He was definitely doing that tonight. What did you see from his decision-making process once he got going downhill?
Yeah, super aggressive, downhill, getting to the line. But those attacks, I thought, attacking the double teams, getting to the backside, put them in some closeouts, long closeouts, and I thought he read the closeouts well. So the game will tell you what to do. And defensively, I think we started the third quarter poorly, but we got better as it went along.
Tom, what about your defensive intensity, the way that you worked the boards? You dominated the backboards in this game, both offensively and defensively.
The rebounding has been huge, and I think that it's critical for us, and it's been one of our strengths all year long, and we have to continue to do that. And I think that's a big part of winning, but keeping our turnovers down, we got to do better with that. But the defense, the rebounding, low turnovers, it's huge.
Tom, fourth quarter, you went with that unit basically that took over there, just kind of riding the hot hand?
Yeah, we were searching, and we knew this game was going to be a challenge just because of the quick turnaround. So the late game on Friday, turnaround, early start today, and find a way to win. And then that group got going, and so at some point you're making your decision probably around the 5-minute mark, 6-minute mark, and we rode that out. And so those guys built the lead, and and obviously, you're gonna, whatever you think gives your team the best chance to win, that's what you're gonna do. And that being said, you got a number of guys that are sacrificing and putting the team first. So I think that's critical.
Given status, and you have to talk to
Yeah, look, hey, Julius is our horse, and he's given us everything that he has. A lot of guys probably wouldn't even be playing. So I knew that with the quick turnaround, probably impact him more than most players. He was out an extended amount of time. So we got multiple days here before the next game. He'll get a chance to get some recovery time, but I think that's a big part of it. So But the thing I love about him is he gives you everything he has. So he's done that to come back the way he did to be ready for game one. Credit to him, and we need him. He's our horse. We know that.
Tom, the center rotation today, you have two guys now, Mitch, and then Isaiah's really emerged this second half of the season, just at least on the stat sheet, as someone who can bring that level of playoff rim protection. What did you see from the center rotation today?
Yeah, very, very pleased. And in tandem, they've been terrific. And the second half of the season on, and Mitch is the anchor of the defense. Isaiah gives us the rim protection, and he's different offensively, so there's different components to it. And I think our bench has really good chemistry. They play off each other really well, and oftentimes there's a starter, or in some cases two, that are out there with them. But I thought Deuce gave us really good minutes, even though they were short. It was critical to start the second quarter. And then I thought Obi was terrific, so it gave us energy, but he also gave us rebounding. So, and then, what can you say about Josh Hart? Again, it's just one tough play after the next, a big shot, big offensive rebounds, great defense. The guy's, he's just a winner. And then, of course, the game that RJ had, and then you look at what Jalen did. We had a number of guys step up, and, that's what you need in the playoffs.
Tom, I know there's work to do still, but there just hasn't been a lot of playoff wins really in 20 years or so. Just what do you think it meant to get to experience that for a couple of days around here?
I think the atmosphere, I always felt, I've been to, with a lot of teams in a lot of arenas, and there's nothing like the Garden. I think everyone knows that, the energy that comes with the building, what it means, all that stuff. So I thought our fans brought great energy, and that's helpful. But we have the best fans, and it's the best arena to play in. So there's nothing like a big game in the Garden.
Tom, when you were talking about Julius, you said most players probably wouldn't be playing right now. What is his injury? Is it the ankle?
Yeah, just, and the thing is, he had to work around the clock to get back. And that's what I love about Julius. And, he gives you everything he has. So 77 games, he sprains his ankle, and then, he works like crazy to get back, knowing how important, he is to the team. But to get back, to get ready to play, he was, he pushed, and our medical people did a great job, but that's all, him. And he was working around the clock on that, and he still is. That's the challenge that we have, and that's what I respect about him. And then we just got to get ready for our next game.
Coach, both teams were defending in a similar fashion, trying to get the ball out of the guards' hands. Why do you think you guys were more successful in dealing with that than they were?
Part of it is the shot-making component, and, I think the great players, they know they're getting double-teamed, from our team, their team, that's part of it. And then everyone being connected together, everyone has to get to the right spots, and then you got to make the right play and trust the game. Trust your reads, and don't fight it. Get off it, then move it to the backside and make plays from there. And that's what winning basketball is. And so, and that's the challenge with them. And, with Mitchell, you could double team him, he can still make, but he makes plays. He does a lot of different things. Garland is a big shot maker. Their bigs they play off each other really well, and then LeVert is an X factor, and Okoro, and that's a heck of a team. You look at their net rating, it tells you they're good.
Tom, are you at all surprised at just how much of a positive impact when you look at when Josh came here until now? I mean, it feels like he took you guys to a different level.
Well, I go back, like I told you, I look at it in segments. I think the segment where, Obi went out and Jericho stepped in, we went 10-5. And then there was another real good stretch from December 4th on. And then getting him, that was the final part of it. He fit into the group perfectly. So I think it was a continuation, because You know, Josh has been huge for us, but I also don't want to take away from the improvement of all the guys from the start of the season to the end. So for it to work, everyone has to be together. Everyone's got to be willing to sacrifice and put the team first. And that's what this team has done.
All right.
Yep, thanks.
Guys.
Kelsey's The Athletic. Jarrett, Donovan just took a lot of responsibility for this game there in the locker room. What did he share with you guys just about today, and what does that say that he took responsibility, I guess?
That's just how Donovan is. If things don't go right as a team, he feels like he needs to take responsibility for it. And I understand his want to lead the team, but I think it's a team effort on this one, and he shouldn't feel like it's all on him. But that, yeah, I don't know why he says it, but that's just, I know how he is. Yeah.
Throughout the series, and kind of leading up to, we talked about the importance of offensive rebounds and keeping them off the glass. And tonight they had another 17 offensive rebounds.
Right.
How difficult is it that it is something that we've been talking about, and there's no it's on the scouting reports?
Yeah.
It's been a factor in games.
It's tough. I know I'm gonna pull Donovan Mitchell on right now. It's a lot on me. I should be down there boxing out, pushing guys around more. And it's frustrating to see myself let somebody get that many offensive rebounds.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, Jared.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
How much do you feel like your traps and blitzes on Jalen Brunson are leading to those opportunities going the way of the Knicks when it comes to offensive boards?
I feel like they do lead to it because it does put everybody out of position a little bit. I think it worked for us one of the games, whatever game it was. But Tibbs is a great coach, and he figured out how to work around that. And I think it does lead to some of it, but we just have to make sure our rotations are better.
And you guys, in 3 of the first 4 games of the series, have failed to crack the 100-point mark.
Right.
What, if anything, can you do to generate more offense?
They just got to go back and look at the film and give you the generic answer, we just have to find a way to get through it, try to find whether we can make the extra play, the extra pass, play with each other on the offensive side more. Just got to figure it out.
And then, for you guys offensively, you as a screener seem to pull Mitchell away from the basket a little bit more.
Right.
Why do you think that was so successful for you guys in the third quarter?
It was just, it just worked. Darius was aggressive. My thing was to hold screens and try to get Darius downhill. It's hard to guard anybody when they have a full head of steam downhill. And I just took advantage of Mitchell Robinson having to pull over, and Darius saw me on a couple lobs.
Jared, you always say feed your local big man.
Right.
Are you getting engaged enough early on in the game? Is that something that you'd like to
Right. No, for me, there's always a time and place for me to get engaged, whether it's in the fourth quarter, the first quarter, whenever it is. I'm always ready to be more engaged in the game. My job is to make sure other people get open shots and to be able to find opportunities for me to score.
You wish they would look for you a little more early in the game?
I mean, that's everybody's going to say, yeah. That's just the way basketball is. But, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm happy with my role, and I'm happy to do whatever the team needs me to do.
Did you see anything in the second half that you can build on going into Wednesday?
We've seen it every game, just playing more with each other, the one more pass, the one more screen, just doing one more.
Yeah, Jared, it's 3 out of 10 for the Julius Randle today. Can you talk a little bit about the defense, the Julius as a whole team today?
The Knicks defense or?
No, your defense.
Our defense. I think our defense was pretty solid. Yeah, maybe not.
No, just for the Julius.
Oh, for Julius.
Yeah, it's like 3 for 10 today.
Oh, yeah. Evan always does a great job on Julius. He always defends him well. He always makes sure that every shot of his is tough. And I guess it showed in the end of the game because he only has 27 minutes. Didn't see him towards the end of the game. So just kudos to Evan for taking that matchup to heart.
Knowing kind of where you guys are at in the series, heading into this game, in the first half, did you see like sense kind of a little bit of like a lack of urgency at all? And what changed so?
I would say it was a lack of desperation, and when the third quarter happened, you could see it in our eyes, you could see it in our play, that we were ready to battle. We knew that this game was super important, and it finally, I wouldn't necessarily clicked with us, but we started to take it to heart.
Last one, Chris.
Jared, why do you think that was a problem in the first half? I mean, you're on the road, you're down 2-1 in the series, backs against the wall.
I think we just always fall on what we're used to. We always struggle with coming out hot in games. I know people say the playoffs changes you, but in the brightest lights, you come back to who you are. And, I think for us, that bit us in the butt this time.
And then the list of teams that have come back from a 3-1 deficit in playoff history is not very long.
Right.
Do you guys still believe that you can do this, and if so, why?
Well, like I said, no. No, but that was the message in the locker room. It was, don't even look at the game score anymore. You can't even think about it. It's just win. It's go back home, win again, go back home and win again. That's literally all you can do at this point. So that's the only thing we're looking forward to.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Jay.
Jalen, just can you talk about they give that run and take the lead after you guys were up 15 early? Just kind of what turned there for you guys fourth quarter?
I've been saying this since the end of the season. They're a great team. They've shown that all year. They're gonna fight. They just came back with a vengeance and started the third quarter. And once they took that lead, and we kind of looked around together and said, we just gotta calm ourselves and just get this under control and stick together. But man, they're a great team, and they just keep fighting, and then they kept putting us on our heels.
Jalen, I think this is the first time you guys have shared the starting lineup since Villanova. What is it like to be part of big wins together? I'm sure you obviously have been through so much, but what was it like to kind of be back in the starting lineup with him and to see Josh play so well on the stage?
Yeah, last time we were in a lineup together, it was a Wisconsin game.
That was a good memory.
Don't look at me.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
It's like fairy tale stuff. Like being with him, a guy who we watched him work from day one, and then to see where he is now, and then to be on the same team again, and it's pretty awesome. But we're focused on the task at hand.
Jalen, on the lighter side, Josh brings a lot to the team, but they caught him singing today. How do you evaluate his singing? And Josh, do you sing often on the sideline?
It was bad.
Singing what?
It was bad. Don't stop believing. It was bad. It was bad. I can't sing.
Yeah.
I really wish I could. Honestly, if I could sing, I said it before. If I could sing, I probably wouldn't play basketball. At that point, the vocals were terrible. I was shooting the ball really bad. My field goal looked like a tour date. So I should have just, I don't know. It was bad. That's all I can say.
Question for you both here. You each had 2 offensive rebounds. Maybe not the best singers, but good offensive rebounders today. What was that like for the team, being so locked in? You guys out-rebounded them by a ton.
We know that's something that this team's been good at for the whole year. And we know getting some of those extra possessions, especially late in games, they're huge. So we want to continue to be physical, to crash the glass. I think that's probably 2 offensive rebounds for JB is probably his career high. So hopefully he can break that again and do a little bit more. But it's just huge in terms of getting second chance points.
Jalen and Josh, what's your message to the rest of your teammates in terms of being so close to moving on, but focusing on the task at hand?
Exactly that. It's not over. Not even close to being over. We gotta continue to just keep focusing on one day at a time. And there's nothing to celebrate. There's nothing to be truly happy about. So obviously, we won tonight. We're one step closer, but we got to continue to have that same mindset mentality and that we have over the past couple of games.
Yeah, the same. Just echoing the same thing with him. With 3-1, it's best of a 7 series. We still got another game. This is a tough opponent, and we saw in Game 2 when we don't bring it, how good they can be. And we're going into, their home now, so they're going to be ready. Obviously the crowd is going to be crazy, the atmosphere is going to be wild, but we just got to focus on getting better as a team and having attention to detail and focused on the task at hand.
Jalen, to follow up what you were just talking about, what do you think the biggest key will be to closing things out in Game 5?
To not thinking about closing it out. Don't think about closing it out at all. Just think of it like, hey, we're going to a hostile environment, and they're going to play desperate, and we just got to be able to bring it. And we got to focus on one possession, one quarter at a time, and just keep building off that, and then just keep fighting, and we'll go from there.
Josh, you get the start and the assignment of trying to contain Donovan. 5 for 18, I think 11 points, 2 in the fourth quarter. Just kind of the job you and the team did on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a full team effort. I think the biggest thing with us, we want to make it tough for him. We want to make him see bodies, close driving lanes, and force him into taking, tough twos and step back threes and stuff like that. And we know he's capable of making those shots. He's shown it in his 6 years in the league that he can make big shots, make tough shots. But that's what we have to do. And teammates had it back. When he blew by me, they were able to challenge at the rim and just make it difficult for him. And we know, he's not always going to shoot, 5 for 18 or whatever it was. So we just got to make sure we're ready, especially, Game 5 for an aggressive down.
Jalen, how much, I know you obviously know Josh so well, but is there any part of you that's a little surprised at just how well he's kind of fit and taken this team 20-9 since his arrival?
No. He's been a person that has adapted to every situation that he's been a part of, and he's made it work. And he understands what's needed of him, and what he needs to do out there. And he does it, and he does more. And that's just how he's been, and it's how he's been raised. He's always been raised to always just be that type of guy. He's that guy on and off the floor. And so, nothing but great things I can say about him.
Jalen, this is kind of your first. You've had moments like when Luka was out, but it's really the first playoff series where you've been the main guy in offense for an entire series. I'm curious what your approach has been through the series. And Josh, 'cause I know Jalen's probably can deflect a little bit. So what have you seen from him in terms of being in that role?
I approach every single game, series, anything basketball related. I approach the same, no matter what the role is. Roles can change, but your mentality stays the same. And I just try and keep that as constant as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could tell you something different, but that's JB. If you know him, he has that mentality every time he steps on the court, and I think that is what makes him a great player. Is because it doesn't matter if he's going to shoot 2-3 shots or he's going to shoot 20 shots. He's going to have that mentality. He's going to make his teammates better. He's going to control the game. And he's going to do whatever it takes to win. And like you said, his role, might change, but his mentality never does.
For both of you guys, I know Julius obviously had a little bit of a hard time shooting the ball today, but I'm just wondering, obviously coming back from the ankle injury, what you guys are seeing from him, like what he's providing in the minutes he's able to give, and then attached to that, Obi in the fourth quarter being able to sort of step up into those minutes. What did you see from him today?
Yeah, but Drew has been a leader since the day I came here. What he's able to do while he's either on or off the floor has been incredible. He's been special. All he wants to do is win, and when he has that mindset, it's very contagious. And so he's been a leader, and we're just we always got his back, and he wants nothing else but to win.
Yeah.
What? All right, good. RJ, just your game, back-to-back games, but that fourth quarter, you scored 5 in a row when it was tied. How big of a kind of stretch was that, do you think, when you look at today's game?
I think, the fourth quarter was huge. I mean, they had a good run to start the third. They played a really good third quarter. And Jalen hit a huge shot at the end of the third to put us up. So that was big. And then just, fourth quarter just staying tough. Every time they threw a punch, kind of threw some back.
Mitch, there was a lot of talk before the series about their two bigs, and you and Isaiah seem to have answered that. Just kind of what you've seen on the boards, what you guys have done to dominate the glass.
We just playing hard, so they got 2 7-footers out there, so we just take a little more extra effort, and we got the job done.
RJ, you were really in full-on attack mode at the rim from the start, like even with that dunk that you got the foul on. What were you seeing that inspired that? And also in the fourth quarter when you and Jalen were just going pick and roll every single time, what were those reads like for you? Why did you find that to be so successful?
I think a lot of times they were doubling Jalen, so I was able to kind of get the ball and kind of make a play. And then there was like the drive, for the dunk or just a couple layups that I had. I mean, he's in the middle of the paint, and I don't know if y'all saw, like, he seals them off for a sec, so I got an extra second to go. But, it was a total team effort.
RJ, I was just wondering, it's been a while since the Garden was full for playoffs, and I just wonder what this weekend's been like here in the crowd, seeing the energy that you're getting from the crowd.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been helping. It's been helping a lot, especially just, like, when we're going on those runs, it helps us even more. The crowd, they just help us get back into the game. They really threw a crazy punch there in the third. So, the fans and just, everybody's been helping a lot.
RJ, you scored 9 points, bridging the end of the third to early in the fourth. Did you feel at that point you wanted to take the ball game into your own hands?
Nah, I just wanted to continue to make the right play, make the right reads, and just do whatever to help the team win.
The first play of the game was for you to get downhill. I wonder if, having the first play of the game drawn up for you to get driving, does that sort of, I don't know, motivate you or click in your brain, like, all right, I'm getting downhill today, or this is how we want to play? It happens sometimes. Sometimes you don't get to play. Sometimes you do. It just depends on the game. Tonight I was able to get it, do something with it. And then just kind of set the tone, I guess, for the rest of the game. And we were all in attack mode, so it was a lot of fun.
Okay, Mitch, in the first half, they were running a lot of pick and roll with Mobley setting the screen, allowed you to kind of hang back and protect the rim, wall that off from them. They switched it up the start of the third, a lot more Allen. You had to play up. How does that sort of change what your responsibilities are, and how have you sort of met the challenge of dealing with them in the pick and roll in the series?
They got to be at the touch. Once, if I'm up there, nothing's going to be Mitchell or Garland coming off. They can shoot threes, so if I'm up the touch, that's basically what it is just being there, being in help, and getting the job done.
RJ, you said yesterday the team that plays harder is going to win this. Did you guys seem like you guys have done that the last 2 games?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're playing extremely hard, making hustle plays. Mitch is getting 5 offensive rebounds. Hart got some offensive rebounds. You know what I mean? Just the whole team, all the hustle plays we're making, we're really together collectively right now.
Mitch, is playoff Mitch a thing? Do you feel more geared in right now defensively?
No. Playoff Mitch is not a thing. It's just still Mitch. Good job.
On that note, thank you.
Kelsey.
Kelsey Rose of the Athletic. Darius in the locker room. Donovan just took a bit of responsibility for this one. What does that just say about him as a leader, but also just where you guys are at in the series?
I think he's putting too much on himself. That's what all stars do. just try to blame everything on himself, but it's not on him. This is a group effort. This is Cleveland basketball. It's not just on him. So anything he says that he puts on himself, don't listen to him. I mean, everybody have nights like this. I think he got some really good looks. He was really aggressive tonight, so we need that from him going forward. I mean, he's been one of the leaders of this group this entire year, so when he goes, we go. So he's going to move on to the next one. We're going to keep his head high. We're going to have his back no matter what, so we're just going to move on to the next one.
And then after your offensive struggles on game 2, what changed for you today, especially in the third quarter when you scored 11 points in that quarter?
Just getting everybody involved. Just try to move the defense around a little bit. See where I can just go be aggressive, where I can go attack and try to find teammates and try to get mine, and open up a little bit for us at the beginning of the half.
Anything for you, like mindset-wise, your approach-wise, coming into today personally change?
No, just trying to get one. I mean, that's been our entire mentality this whole series, so nothing's changed.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, Darius. In what way do you feel like you guys changing up your offensive attack early in the third quarter helped you guys find more of a rhythm?
Just moving everybody touching the ball. Our bigs got involved early, so that got them active on both ends of the floor. And then just shifting defense. We start on one side of the floor, just move the ball to the other side. So their bigs can just kind of get confused a little bit, and that's what we try to do at the beginning of the half.
How important is it for you guys, even moving forward, to pull Mitchell away from the basket?
I mean, he can't do two things at once. So, I mean, whenever he's away from the basket, it's a win for us. So, I mean, we get by him anytime, I believe. So if we keep putting him in pick and rolls, he's going to have to do something.
In 3 of the first 4 games now, you've been held below 100 points. What, if anything, can you guys do as a collective to generate more offense?
Everybody touch the ball in possession. Keep the defense moving. Like I said, Mitchell can't do anything, can't do two things at once. So, I mean, we just got to keep moving him, bring him away from the basket. He wants to block shots, pump fakes, draw fouls on him. Yeah, just get their bigs moving.
Has that been a point of emphasis and it just hasn't been executed? Or?
I mean, I think we got away from it most of the time, yeah. I've been trying to just move the ball, let everybody touch it at least once in a possession, not just go iso ball or matchup hunting. So we've been talking about it a lot more, and we see what worked. We're just going to go back and watch the film, go look at the start of the second half, see what we can do about that, and to try to translate to next game.
Joe.
Josie Keswick, kind of going off what Chris said, is it important to get the big guys going early moving forward?
Yeah, I think our bigs got to get involved a lot more so we can have them engaged on both ends of the floor. I mean, Jay got it going a little bit in the second half, just being aggressive, going at Hartenstein. Ev, he's going to come. He's playing that seat in him right now, just play a little bit more physical and just go get his. We really need him this series, so he's going to turn it up. He knows what he needs to do.
And then for you personally, did you see anything in that third quarter that you can kind of carry into Wednesday night?
The pace, playing with a lot more pace, getting up the floor. Try to get in the paint, just look for spray outs, open shooters. They're not going to leave Don, so Vert is an option. Ice, Jetty, I mean, those guys just be ready to shoot the ball with confidence and knock it down.
Anything else? All right, last one, Chris.
Darius, you were matched up against Brunson when you were playing defense a lot more than what has been the case in the first 3 games. What was your approach in that matchup?
Try to make it tough. JB is a really good player. I mean, he makes a lot of tough shots. So just try to make it tough for him. Try to send him to our bigs as much as I can. And just try to make him take tough shots.
Is that a matchup that you asked for, or how did that come about?
I mean, yeah. That's what the people want to see. 2 of the top guards in the East go at it. Yeah, I mean, I'm guarding on the defensive end. So, yeah, that's a matchup I want.
All right, last one for Kelsey.
with the way you guys are in the series, coming into tonight's game, did you sense like a sense of urgency when it wasn't executed in the first half?
Yeah. The sense of urgency it has to be there the entire game for 48 minutes. And that's has to be the mentality going forward. You have to be desperate. We got to get wins just to compete. So, yeah, that's the message going forward.
Gonna wrap it deep. Thanks, everybody.
Firstly, Athletic, Jimmy, what do you think of this game as a whole? What stood out, especially in the second half, I guess, that after coming back into and taking the lead, that ended up with the result?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, you got to put the ball in the basket. We've got to do a better job of creating opportunities for each other. But when we get opportunities, we got to take advantage of them. I think we found a little bit of a rhythm and we're able to attack. I think the attack turned into more jump shots later. But again, we just got to continue to stick with what's working.
They had 17 offensive rebounds again tonight. I know we haven't talked about that all series, but how did that, especially late game, play a factor?
I mean, that's the it. And we keep talking about it. We keep talking about it. We keep talking about it. You learn when it'll hurt the most. And we've been talking about our success, going as quickly as we learn from our mistakes. In these 3 games, we haven't learned quickly enough, and they've made us pay.
Was there something that they were doing on Donovan? I mean, he struggled a little bit today.
I'll go back and take a look at it. I think, most of his shots, if you ask Donovan, those are shots that he likes. There were a couple of them that just rimmed in and out that were tough on him. But, again, I think he got to his spot and got his shots.
It looked like you guys got things going when you started running that, the Darius and Jarrett pick and roll to start the third quarter, got some easy buckets. What changed either from the Knicks side or your side after that when things kind of got turned back off offensively?
Again, we lost the pace that we were playing at and getting into it early. I think that's where we were really effective is when Darius was getting the ball up the floor in space and Jarrett was right on top of him. The middle of the floor was open. We could get to the middle and attack. But I think, as it wore on, I think we lost the tempo that we were playing with.
Anything else?
In the first half, did you sense like a struggle with a sense of urgency from you guys versus just in the second half, of the switch flip?
No, I mean, it took us a minute to settle in. There are moments where, we've got to grow and we've got to grow in a hurry. Understanding what's on the line, understanding how, in playoff basketball, which was, something that we talked about during the regular season, is you don't flip switches. During the regular season, we were able to flip some switches and come back in games. This, time, it just doesn't present the opportunity to do so.
And yesterday, practice we talked about putting Karras in the lineup for matchup reasons and didn't keep the lineup the same tonight. What have you just thought about what he's added to the lineup to keep him in there for these 2 games?
I mean, I think he's good on both sides of the ball. He's a guy who can put the ball on the floor and attack. He's a guy who can play make for you. You look up, he had 9 rebounds tonight. So I think the versatility that he provides, he's a guy that they account for on the offensive end, because he can play make, because he can make shots. So he helps spread the floor as well.
Anything else in the room? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.